Greetings, family, and welcome to another prophetic update from the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life very much on your own terms. This is Errol. We're reporting live and direct, family, from 7D Reality, wishing you all the love, all the hope. Come on, Errol. Come on. No. Come on. All the hope, family, just sending all the best wishes, hoping that you've really made your healing journey, your transformational journey, you're the priority in your life, especially because of what I'm just about to share with you. But before I get into that, shout out to the sponsor of this show, family. There's a book that's been written by Greg, and it's called Trying Times, family. The link will be down below. And it's really important as we recalibrate, as we heal, as we restore ourselves, family, that we knit together a new narrative and a new story for ourselves that goes beyond what Babylon has tried to tell us, like we were in caves and forests just a couple hundred years ago, when actually our lineage is millions of years old. And, you know, in trying times, from the pyramids to the projects, this book was designed, written, and formatted with the intention of awakening the subconscious mind and to connect the conscious mind to the Akashic records. There's a lot of codes that will activate a lot of the information that is lying dormant within you, family. The massive library, the massive our story, because it ain't his story. Otherwise, trust me, he'd be talking about it. The massive our story that lies dormant in us, and you know, the science behind the book's chapters, arrangement, and the use of poetry, many of which are written in question form and are meant to kind of like prompt you and further deepen the reader's understanding of what today's most pressing societal issues are, family. And it kind of brings us to when we were the gods manifesting pyramids. Someone wrote to me and said that we had some special concrete, that's what the slabs were made of. Others have written to me talking about how it was science and mental science that lifted those slabs. Whatever it was, we had the mind to do that then. And yet now, if you look at us, you know, the ghettos of the world are filled with people that look at I and I. So definitely check out Greg's book. The links are down below. You can get it on Amazon. Family, you know, I've been thinking a lot about this situation that's been taking place in Haiti. And, you know, my sister did get in touch, actually. She's the one, there's a video, I don't know if you guys saw, there's this video that went viral on TikTok where she was actually talking about how I think Haiti and, is it Nigeria, have irradium or something like that. But family, definitely check out my TikTok channel. I've retweeted, I don't know what it is, re-TikToked or reposted. I'm getting used to TikTok. And I'll also be putting a lot of new information on there. But family, I was thinking about this thing of how Kenya is sending 1,000 police to Haiti to deal with the so-called gangs. And, you know, knowing that any narrative, life is mental, family, I keep saying it, and any narrative that they push so much to the public arena is not just a simple thing, but has massive ramifications. For all of you, you know, for my family who we've been in this game before, we used to be called, you know, conspiracy theorists. Now we're looking more like prophets, family. We know that the ultimate agenda of Babylon was to create a one world government with one world police, with one world state, and it would be run in regions by like the European Union, the African Union, the Asian Union, you know, the Latin American Union, or whatever they're called, but they're all unions. Because even these countries, these so-called 55 states, however 50 states, however many that we have on the motherland, they were all designed, family, to already start to break down all our kingdoms and queendoms and traditional rulership structures and collapse us into the Babylon structure. And their ultimate goal has always been one world government. That has always been their ultimate goal. And knowing that they understand the power of the narrative. I see this move of trying to take 1,000 police to, 1,000 Kenyan police to Haiti as the first step, first very public recent step that they have taken in trying to create a one world police. Because now they're trying to spin the story and expand the story to say that other countries are now wanting to join Africa, wanting to join Kenya, the Kenyan mission, and the Kenyan mission would lead and all this stuff. You know, we have to get beyond the marketing, the dangerous mind control of Babylon, where they can be doing the most wicked things, family. They can be getting you to do the most wicked things. And they'll sell it to you like it's the best thing since, peanut butter on sliced bread or whatever you want to put there. And I'm not even saying this to alarm you. I'm really hoping that you are also canceling this out in spirit, canceling this out in mind, because there has been such a massive objection to this narrative, a massive mental opposition to this narrative. We'll see if it has any, ramifications on what happens. Because, by the way, family, one thing I wanted to tell you guys is it's still up in the air. It's not like written in stone. It's like still being proposed. So, I mean, it's not like the Kenyan police are going tomorrow. They've just announced it to the narrative. And I hope now, family, for you guys who have eyes to see and ears to hear, that you can start to really see what I'm talking about when I talk about how it's all about the narrative and how they use our minds to manifest their reality. But it's not working good for them. Because now we're giving our story, we're giving our side of the story, which is why they're shadow banning and trying to literally silence our voices. Everyone else, every other nation, the Europeans are protecting their major voices, the Asians are protecting their major voices, even the Haitians are protecting their major voices. But who is protecting the revolutionary voices of the people on the motherland? You love to hear us say crazy things, but are you thinking about the sacrifices we're making in our personal lives to bring this message to you? Because it's reached a point, family, where the trumpet blowers, we've blown the trumpets, but if there's no collaboration, then we will move on. And these are not threats, but I'm just saying it's heartbreaking to get the same emails in 2023 that I was getting in 2017 about Africa should do this and Africa should do that. Every African has an idea of how Africa can be liberated, but we're not willing to come together. We're not even really willing to do anything about it. We love it when it's still in the mind, which is fine because we are in a mental and narrative reality. So if we could actually, even if it was just to unite our minds, we could change a lot of things. I met, one of the many magicians that I've met in my life when I, near my shrine in Mount Zion. And we were talking about, that time we were talking about Kenya and Kenyan elections. And there was violence, and I think we were going through, like, there were parts of Kenya which didn't have food and all this stuff. And he was like, if one village, not even the whole nation, but if one village, and let's say a village has maybe between 50 and 100 people, was to come together at a certain time and mentally agree that there will be peace or that food will be manifested, it would really ripple and change reality. In the so-called scriptures, family, they talk about how when you have the faith of the mind and the faith of a mustard seed, you can tell a mountain to move to the ocean and it moves. So imagine 50 or 100 minds of the same accord. And it is those few magicians and spiritual generals behind the scene who are actually having a massive impact on the liberation of Africa, because one of their minds is equal to like 1 million of these brainwashed minds of our brothers and sisters. But it's always a good thing when the change happens as a group, as an Ubuntu, as all of us together. rather than the change being masterminded by a few minds and the spirit having to totally annihilate those that have not reached that certain mind. But those are stories for other days. Definitely check out Greg's book, Family, Trying Times. It is such a beautiful, interactive book. I almost called it a journal because that's how I interacted with you, that will prompt you to kind of put a picture and a perspective into our story, how we went from God's creating pyramids to slum dwellers, to people of the projects who can barely feed themselves. What went wrong? The links are down below, family. And if you'd like to advertise on the Dr. Mumbi Show and take your business to the world, contact me, Dr. Mumbi, at drmumbishow.com. Tuko pamoja.